Hello there, our dear listeners, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Sphere Rocket Podcast Network, your go to destination in exclusive conversations with the top tier real estate professionals. I am your host, Sweet, and today we have a very distinguished guest with us. He is a Central Alberta resident with a passion in real estate. Since 2000, he's been driving force in the field and co-founding the Jim and Pat real estate team with Gene Jordan in 2001. Their success led them to establish Trilliant Real Estate Group Ltd in 2009, known for its outstanding performance and transactions. Beyond real estate, he is a dedicated family man with two teenage boys. He's deeply involved in coaching, hockey, and baseball, volunteering extensively in the local sports community. Join us as we explore his journey and glean insights from his impressive career. And welcome to the show, Pat Garritty. Hey, Pat, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the intro.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you here in the podcast. I'm really excited to learn more about you and, of course, your secret sauce and your success with real estate. So, yeah, but before that, before we go into the deep dive to that, I just want to ask you, Pat, like, what is your go to beverage before or after a long day of showing people around, talking to clients?
My go-to beverage after a long day. Well, I think I do like a nice crispy IPA from the local brewery here in Sylvan Lake. So, yep.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I'm not familiar though, but that sounds so nice. And yeah, thank you so much. But yeah, so your career in the real estate. So before Trilliant Group, so I see here that you established Jim and Pat Jordan and started in 2000. So like 24 years in the real
hmm
estate career. Wow, that is so a long time. And for sure you have seen a lot of ups and downs in the market as well and the evolvement of the industry. So but first let's start with like what sparked interest in you to start the real estate career, like what was that driving factor?
Yeah, I think no one, I think no one has a career goal of being a real estate agent. They kind of stumble upon it in some way, shape, or form. And that may be changing a little bit in today's market space, but my stepdad Jim Jardine, his was a driving force in that. He's been a real estate agent since 1976, I believe. So, and he was looking for somebody who just wanted me to join his team, and I was in professional sales and doing other things, and I turned that down for many years until I think it was time. And in 2000, I joined him, and we quickly kind of grew the business over the next few years. But yeah, 24 years, it definitely goes fast, and you definitely learn lots along the way, the hard way. But it's been a great ride, and I can't wait for the next however many years. I'm not leaving now. I'm in here this far. I'm staying in and going to finish my work career as doing this. So it's something I know I love to do it. It's a beautiful career. Love it.
Love that. Yeah, and the 24 years in the industry, what made you stay to this kind of industry for that long?
I just think, as real estate professionals, you're in charge of your growth. There really is no ceiling. And I quickly found that. And, where I was before, I was an employee and I loved my previous careers, but, and this is the one where we saw growth. And, we added our first buyer agent in 2006, I believe. And he's still with us, just so you know, he's still a member of our team and a very, very high producing agent and a good friend of ours. Once we added that first buyer agent and then another and then another and then an administrator, as we grew it, we realized not only can we be profitable as the team leaders, but the agents can be incredibly profitable as well. And it's just a really good place for everyone to kind of grow their business and have autonomy with the way they want to operate. And yeah, like I said, that's the beautiful thing about this industry.
Love that. Love that. Yeah, it's changes ever, is I mean the industry is ever evolving and changing, so you really
Hmm.
have to grow each and every time, and I totally agree with that. So with this ever evolving, and you've said there's no ceiling for the growth in this kind of industry in real estate. So what do you think is your business superpower that keeps you, your client you are the go-to person?
Well, I think there's a couple things. Number one, we live by the mantra of honesty, competency, and care, right? So when we say that, we're honest 100% of the time, and that's easy to say, but sometimes in this industry, it's really hard to do. But when the client or whoever you're working for needs to have a bout of honesty, you have to be honest with them. In competency, we're always driven to be the best, and care. We want to give the highest level of care to that person, the way, in order to meet their goals, not ours, right? We want to meet their goals, not ours. So honesty, competency, and care has really kind of driven us as a team to kind of, I guess, keep us in line and make sure we're moving in the right direction at all times.
Love that. Yeah, totally agree with that. Honesty is very, very important in every, business and every job that you're going to enter, of course, and integrity as well. Being
Hmm.
honest with yourself, even if no one is looking with you or at you. So, yeah, so you mentioned a while ago as well, Pat, that it's not an easy way up there, like where you are right now, and you have learned some things the hard way. So can you share to us some stories that really was a remarkable one for you, that you learned a really big lesson that you want to share with our audience today?
Well, I think it comes back down to just communication and systems, and making sure that your systems are rock solid. Um, I think that any frustration that you have in a business is pretty much a direct result of a lack of a system. And any kind of mistakes that we made probably fall in that particular category. You know, we missed a expiry date on a listing, and it was an expensive listing. And the client called us 2 months later and said, "Hey, how come I can't find my property on the MLS?" And lo and behold, when we checked, it had been expired for over 60 days, and we hadn't yet communicated that with them. So that was a situation where, as a team leader or as a real estate, you could have called that person and said, "Hey, it was so and so's fault, or my assistant missed it, or whatever." But it's there again, honesty, competency, and care. You just come back to your values, and you were just honest with the person. The person ended up moving on from us and ended up selling the property with someone else. But that particular one was a tough one. But it proves that we're all human and that mistakes can be made. As long as humans are involved, there's going to be mistakes made. But then again, we wanted to revamp our systems to make sure that something like that never happened again.
Yeah, totally agree with that. System is really, really important, especially with business that, there is a repetitive things that you have to do. Like for example, in the real estate, right? You have to
Hmm.
prepare the contracts, prepare the listings, and all of those things. So, speaking of those kinds of repetitive tasks, for sure you have a team with you as well,
Hmm.
that you have established, and now that you are a very, very distinguished and important client of Sphere Rocket as well. So, can you share to us how did you stumble upon Sphere Rocket, and what made you decide to try and explore having a virtual assistant?
I think, you know, a lot of my coaching programs, because I believe in coaches, business coaches, and real estate coaches, and a lot of the groups that I've been involved with before, we're really promoting them, and I never once really crossed my mind that we ever would need one in that capacity, or lack of, or believed in that. Is that weird to
Mhm.
say? And
Valid,
it
yeah.
wasn't until we got introduced to your company over 3 years ago, and actually, I think it's 3 years ago this month that we've had a virtual assistant with Sphere Rocket, and we, it was like, want to talk about an aha moment. We took all those. I'm not going to use the word remedial because they're all important, but they're tasks that they really were trying to take discretion at that operational level away, and they're all those tasks that have to be done, and they are Like if they're not done logical order and in exact order properly, you have a problem. And once we realized that someone could do this for us with that type of expertise, it's an absolute game changer. Yeah. Like I'm now a biggest believer in it, and the biggest advocate of Sphere Rocket, not only for the quality of the candidates that you get, but just in terms of the support that you get as well.
Love that. Love to hear that from you. And wow, 3 years of having
Mhm.
a virtual assistant. So, how many virtual assistants that you have right now since you started 3 years
We
ago?
have one, and we're talking about growth, and we're talking about how are we going to get to this level, and what are the obstacles in our way, and administration and of those types of things obviously is one of those obstacles. So we know that if we're going to get to that next level, we're going to have to leverage ourselves with time and energy with virtual assistants, whether it's listing coordination, whether it's client concierge, whether it's transaction coordination, whether it's social media marketing, inside sales, whatever. We know that that component is there, it's refined, and it'll be a great resource for us should we need it.
Love that. Love that. Yeah, totally agree with that. You mentioned leveraging your
Mm-hmm.
business with virtual assistants. So, I just also want to get your opinion, Pat, because of course, yourself before, you are not familiar with virtual assistants, not until the coaches and Spherocket was introduced to you. So, what do you think with other business owners out there, or maybe some other people? I just want to get your opinion about what do you think are the some factors that makes other business owners to, not get virtual assistants or get leverage, or
Well,
get
I
leverage
think
using VA. Yeah.
I just think they don't understand how it works and how easy it is. Like it's a daunting task if you think about it. You know, where would you advertise? How would you solicit the right people to put resumes in? Where would you put this? Like it's not easy. That's why, and to be honest, we probably wouldn't have it if it wasn't for Sphere Rocket, just because of how easy they made it. And I know that sounds like an infomercial for you guys, but at the end of the day, it's the truth. So I had the interview. They knew what my needs were. I think they shortlisted to X number of people. We did 6 or 7 quick, quick interviews, and lo and behold, we had our first virtual assistant, and the rest is history. That particular person didn't work out, but we quickly transitioned into the new one, and she's been over 2.5 years that she's been with us, and she's like part of our family, in all honesty. So yeah.
That's a great to hear. That's a great to hear, Pat. And yeah, so it's really as per what I'm hearing here, it's really skyrocketed your, leveraging your business with there in the US. And I'm just curious, like of course a lot of people listening to us right now would also want to hear about, results as well. So could you
Mhm.
mention some results that you have experience after getting a virtual assistant?
Well, I think the key to it, and the only way that it would work for us, was that they work our hours, and they adopt our business practices in terms of communication mediums, training, and all of that. Our local MLS, we just had to get her license inside that platform, and we were good to go. But yeah, I think, yeah, it's just the resources are there. It's just finding that right person. It's like any job position, right? You got to find the right person. And like I said, our first one didn't work out. That's okay. We learned from that. But in the meantime, we still grew, and we still had the ability to do more with less, and which is truly what leverage is. And then once we got our most recent virtual assistant, and of course, if she sees this, she's going to blush. But she just does a great job for us, and she can think on her toes, and she is I don't know how to say it, but a task finisher to the nth degree. Like she just does a very, very thorough, accurate job for us, and that's what we want. That's why we engaged in the process.
Totally agree with that. And I'm happy to hear that because, of course, at the end of the day, we just really want something that also could give the value or the, give value to our company as well. That, and as you mentioned, she's part of your family right now.
Mhm.
I can hear there that you're really like, treating your VA really well and taking care of her. And yeah, so now, Pat, with in general, this is in general to everyone who is listening to us right now who also wants to achieve the level of success that you have right now. What is that one piece of advice that you want to give them?
Systems, 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 right? Like standard operating procedure for everything, ordering staples supplies to putting up a sign to how you prepare for a CMA to how you report your transaction. Everything has to have a system behind it, and it has to be reviewed on a quarterly or biannual basis so you know that it works effectively, because without it, you're on ice without skates. And we proved that the hard way. And I think that system development is such an important process in any company. Without it, you're not repeatable or scalable. So you'll just be doing the same thing over and over, and that's no fun for anybody.
Yeah, system, system, system. So now that there you go, guys.
It's not
Those
very
are
sexy. It's
yeah,
certainly not very sexy, but it's the truth.
yeah. Totally, totally agree with that. So now, Pat, of course, maybe they're interested in wanting to have you as a coach or wanting to join your team. So what's the best way for them to reach out or contact you?
Yeah, I think the best way was, through my personal email, pat@trilliantrealty.ca. That's my personal email. And if someone emails me there, I might not respond back immediately or that day, but I will definitely respond. And we're always looking for the right people. Um, we're very lucky. We have agents on our team ranging from like 19 years to 6.5 years, nothing less than that. So um, we're looking for more teammates and someone that's willing to make a difference and act with honesty, competency, and care moving forward.
Love that. So there you have it, friends. If you want to join Pat's team or be coached, just reach out to them. We will include the contacts here in the description box below. So just check that out. And yes, but hang in there, everyone, because after this short break, we will be having Pat for the next segment. So let's have the commercial.
Overwhelmed with work? Well, meet your new partner from Sphere Rocket VA. In just a click, get matched with a virtual assistant who handles all the tedious tasks. No in-person hiring, no extra office gear, just easy online help from our recruitment team. It's like having an extra pair of hands minus the hassle. So ready to relax and see your work done just like magic? Choose Sphere Rocket VA and visit us at www.sphererocketva.com.
Okay, and now we're back still here with Pat and yeah, and now it's time for our lightning round. So Pat, lightning round or just
Lightning.
quick
Okay.
yeah, quick and fun questions. So you ready?
Yeah, absolutely.
Love that. Okay, so number 1 is what is your favorite business book?
Traction. Gino Wickman. Awesome.
Love that. And who is your favorite influencer or coach?
I have a couple. Tom Ferry, of course, is an individual that I'm drawn to. There's different people inside different sports that I'm drawn to. There's another Canadian mentor, Richard Robbins, who's I've always followed and I listened to his podcast, and he was a former coach of mine. So I have quite a few out there in the business world that offhand I just can't remember them really quick, but there's a couple for sure.
Awesome. And yeah, next one is your favorite lead generation method.
Repeat referral. I think that's the easy answer, of course. We're also a big believer in pay-per-click online leads, the inside sales process. That's part of our engine and part of our value prop that's driven our companies, now for 13 years. So, the combination of those two, we're venturing into other ones, right? Like YouTube and other areas, but definitely repeat referrals number one.
Repeat referrals. Lovely. And next one is biggest goal for 2024.
Our biggest goal it was to increase our profit margins as a company and also grow each individual agent's book of business by 15%. Yeah. So
Amazing. Amazing. Yeah. Wishing that for you to hit that goal. And yeah, lastly is what is your favorite Amazon purchase this year?
Oh, okay. Frame an Amazon purchase. You're assuming that I am an Amazon consumer, which I think everybody is. The other day, I got to be honest with you. We live on a lake here, so in and out of the boat a lot, and I'm a sunglass loser. I lose my sunglasses all the time. So I got three really nice pair of polarized sunglasses for $38. So I thought that was the steal of the day. Yeah. Send me an email. I'll share you the link. Maybe I can get a affiliate program going with Amazon.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. You can have that as a side hustle or extra
Yeah.
income. Love that. So, yeah, really had fun learning with you today, Pat. And thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure having you here in the podcast. But before I let you go, if you want to give a shout out or, promote something, I'm giving you the floor.
No, I don't think so. I just want to thank you guys for for the 3-year relationship that we've had, and no, I'm watching you guys grow has been really fun, and watching the success of the company and how many I can't imagine how many people like me that they've helped kind of get to that next level, and I think I'm super appreciative, and if I could ever be a hand, just let me know.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pat. And there you have it, friends. I hope you learned from this episode as much as I do. And don't forget to comment down below your biggest takeaway in this episode. And as always, if you have suggestions for future topics or guests, we are open and we love hearing from you. And again, my name is Sweet. And until next time, this has been Spherocket Podcast Network. Stay inspired and keep building those spheres of success. Bye.
Feeling overwhelmed by your business tasks? Well, it's time to step up your game. Visit www.spherocketva.com and get a virtual assistant from us at Spherocket VA. Streamline your business operations and focus on what really matters.